Yes, sir.
So you are welcome to the revisions class once again. Let's try and be ourselves, ask questions when it is necessary, and then we move. So from the beginning of this course, I told us that a time will come that you will not even have to check your time. And the time is now here. So from the day one, we have what we call, we have to cover all this. And for you to cover them, what you need to do is to attend the classes and solve some of the problems. Initially, from Unit 1, we talk about decision-making process, we talk about data collection, we talk about summarizing data, we talk about graphical presentation of data, we talk about measure of central tendency, arithmetic mean, measure of central tendency through geometric and harmonic. Now, I will open some of the past questions that I have sent to you guys. Then from there, we can now look at it and see, do they have, is there any point in time, can you see this question now?
Not clear, sir.
It's not clear, sir.
Don't worry, it's your network.
Not clear, sir. No, sir, I think it's
not
general.
network, sir. It's not clear.
Blurry.
I've heard you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, it's clear. It's just that the device that is on the network is bad. But it's very clear on my own side.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's look at, I always tell students, go to your strength. Don't waste your time. And don't do Baba Jebu with statistics, please. You will come back to it and still, let me ask this question. Generally, our question when in the exam, the way they set the system we use, is it convenient for you to go front and back?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If it is convenient for you to go front and back, don't rush to answer questions. Time might not permit you, but it is better you score the highest score rather than do nonsense in the name of I must finish. In statistics, things are to be obeyed. Now let's look at it. I will pull some questions out like we did the other time. We'll take them one after the other. Under this particular topic, there are things we need to look into. Some of us, you know what you need to, you know the number you need to have, you know this course you must, you know the value you must get down for you to pass this course. Probably you score less than 30 in your CMA. It shows that you must work hard now in order to meet up. Okay. Let's go to the calculation aspect. I want to beg you, go and read all these words, the role of statistics, they all usually come. The entity, they said the basic concept in statistics, entity, variable, random variable, quantitative variable, qualitative variable, discrete variables. All these things, they are basic concepts. They can ask you, which of the following are not concept in statistics? So when they ask you the question, but if you start it from your own end, you know that this one, you need to know it. Know them in your own language so that by the time you see question, you'll be able to answer. We have continuous variable, we have population, we have sample and random sample. All these things are very germane. Please don't waste your time. Now, don't say it's chapter 1 is not necessary. You will be shocked that there will be more populated question when it comes to all these words. Let me share again. Let's look at it together and see what I'm saying. Remember, the question is on statistics. Okay. The first question here says, any measure indicating the center of a set of data arranged in an increasing and decreasing order of magnitude is called measure of what?
Central tendency.
Please, I can't see. Am I the only one not seeing the screen?
You can't see. Okay, don't worry. I know. Let me just create a pool for us so that everybody will be able to see. I'm trying to create a pool so that you will be able to see the question. I will not put option there because I want you to see it. Pool 11, let me see. Can you see it now on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the question?
Yes, sir. I can see it, sir.
Now, on your chart, tell me the answer on your chart. Type the answer there on your chart. Any measure indicating the center of a set of data arranged in an increasing and decreasing order of magnitude is called what? Measure of what? Okay, some people say median. Okay, remember you have the measure of central tendencies, measure of dispersion. You have those measure. This is not, that is where people make mistakes. There are different between median, mean, mode. They are not talking about, they already put it there. Call a measure of what? Have you seen measure of median? No. So you can see, and you will come out of the exam, oh, yes, I finished it. I don't know why that system gave me 0. Okay. Let's move on. Can you see my screen again?
No, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
I've already
Yes, sir.
removed the
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
you
sir.
can see them now.
Yes, clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You remember the question. We are still coming to this.
The answer is ordered array.
The answer is order array. Okay. Now let's go. It's there in our book. I don't need to tell you the page. If you are conversant with your book, you should know. Don't ask me that silly question. If you have your paper with you, if you are the type that reads often, you will know. Somebody said the answer is order array. What is the definition of order array? Can you tell us, please?
When data are collected, they are collected in such a way that there is no particular arrangement of the value.
Okay.
The other array of value does not facilitate the process of analyzing the data. Data must be therefore be arranged either in ascending and or descending order of magnitude so as to facilitate the analysis. Sorry.
Okay. So you are reading from page 34, right?
Yes, 34.
Okay. You said?
Page 34.
Somebody said it's not. How many
is.
of us believe it's not the same answer? If you know it's not the same answer, raise up your hand. I can't see the hand, please. Measure of central tendency. Some people say measure of central tendency. Can you tell us the measure of central tendency? What is the definition? Yes, anybody? Is there in your book? Go to the page of where measure of central tendency is. If you can hear my voice, if the screen is not clear, but you can hear my voice, read definition for center of tendency for us. And somebody read order of array. Let's check it together.
Order of array says when the data are collected,
Order of
they are
array.
collected in a such way that there is no particular arrangement of the value.
Okay.
This order array of value does not facilitate the process of analyzing the data. The data must therefore be arranged either in ascending or descending order of multitude so as to facilitate the analysis.
Okay. Then measure of central tendency is what? Anybody? What are the measure of central tendency? Who can tell me? Anybody? Hey.
Mean,
Media,
mode,
and variance and
mode.
mode.
Okay, good. Now, what is the answer for that pool?
central tendency.
Is it central tendency or order of array?
Central tendency.
Central tendency.
Now, what is the definition of central tendency? Read it for me. Yes, let me give us the pool again. This is the pool. Can you see the pool?
Can't see it.
Is there? Any measure indicating the center of a set.
Yes, no.
The center of a set of data, comma, arranged in increasing or decreasing order of magnitude is called what?
Central tendency.
Hey.
Central tendency.
Hey.
So it is central tendency.
Ascending and descending, increasing and decreasing. Can't you talk the example in the textbook?
Is what?
It's order of array.
The answer is orders of array.
The answer is order of array.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the answer is also is what?
Order is central tendency.
No, the other is just order of array, not standard tendency. Central tendency.
So any measure indicating the center of a set of data arranged in an increasing or decreasing order of magnitude is called
Measure of central tendency.
measure of
Central tendency.
center tendency.
I got
I wanted to
it.
join the call and say anything.
Let me tell you this. Majority of you will see a surprise.
Statistics.
Is that okay? Measure of central tendency. Look at, she's just reading. If the question is simple, direct.
She was reading extension.
It was measure. I won't say more than that. Let's continue. Okay, can you see my screen?
No.
At least you can see me there.
We just use grammar to.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You see me there now?
Yes, sir.
Not clear, sir.
Okay, let's look at it. One of the techniques you need to know, how do they set question in statistics? Nobody is ready to trouble you. It is only when you are lazy. You see it as a trouble. Read the next question. Can somebody read it for us?
The screen
Now
is
we
small.
can't see the screen clearly.
If you are using your phone, you cannot see now. The score that differ differently from the measure of central tendency are called what?
Extreme value.
Outlier.
Extreme value.
Okay. The scores, that is the values. Let's say you have different points that differ greatly from the measure of central tendency are called, please read that book, it's there.
Extreme value.
I mentioned it in your class. If you are the type that you don't read chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, you are on your own. Look at this. All these questions about data, they are very important. I'm not saying calculation will not come. If you are the type that you are just, all your life is a summary, I just pity you. Because the same summary you busy reading is the same summary you are carrying all over from your textbook. The person just copy and paste the summary in each of the unit and pull it together for you, and you think you have a good material. So let's be wise. So all these element things, you have to go and read them one after the other. I'm not going to give you the answer to the solution. I will just open your brain to see what you need to read and get it. It's there. Remember, we did something on the sum of differentiation, the sum of deviation taken from mean is called what?
Motivation.
Yes. Okay, let's do some calculation. If that one is hard for you, let's do some calculation. Let me give you this. I'll still come back to it. Okay. When you are doing some other things, there are things that are matters here. What is arithmetic mean? How do we calculate arithmetic mean? Who can remind us?
Is it the formula, sir?
Yes.
Summation S divided by N
Okay.
for on group. Yes.
Okay, before the summation of a thing, who can remind us? Who can remind us the data? We have primary data, secondary data. What is primary data? If you want to talk, just raise up your hand and I'll call you.
Primary data are data that are being collected.
Who is talking? We can't see you.
Primary data are data that are being collected on behalf of another person. And it is being used for the purpose being collected.
Chika, where do we collect primary data?
It can be collected through by interview or survey.
Okay. Moshood.
Questionnaire.
Okay.
Observation.
Thank you, sir. Primary data are data that are collected for the purpose of what is being collected. Is usually collected by the researchers on its own. So we can use the method through the use of the interview, through the use of interview questionnaire.
Okay.
That's secondary now.
So what is secondary data?
Secondary data can be defined as data that are collected by the body of organization. It is usually used by the third party.
No, I don't believe that.
Primary data is the data that is used by a person
purpose
or people other than the person or people by whom or for whom the data was collected.
Which one are you trying to define?
Secondary data.
So secondary data is from where? Where do we get secondary data?
Newspaper, journals, magazines.
Media.
That is already processed data.
Processed data.
Processed data.
Yes. Is that okay? Please go and know more about it. It is very important. Is that okay? Now let's move on. Remember, we are doing revision, not class. Okay. Let's move on. We have different method of data collection. You've mentioned it. We have different sources. We have statistical information in business. We have different things. Are you getting it? But now let's look at the advantage. Who can tell us advantage of primary data over secondary data?
That's just where I'm even confused. I want to know the advantage.
Advantage of primary and secondary. If you know it, raise up your hand so that I will call you. We discuss it together. Remember, we have just 1 hour for this class. Kehinde, Fagbemi.
Yes, sir. The advantage between primary data and secondary data is that primary data, you are sure and it is a fact. It's something that you know that it is true.
Okay. You are sure you know it is true. How?
Because it is gotten by that same person, like the main person that needs it for that particular project or work.
Okay. Abraham Wada. Thank you. Abraham Wada, are you there? Ozaze, over to you.
One of the advantage of primary data is that errors can be minimized. We are very sure it is reliable
Where do we minimize the error, please?
Because you're collecting it yourself.
Okay. Which one? Are you saying from primary error can be minimized or from secondary error can be minimized? Which one?
From primary.
Yeah.
From primary. Good point. Thank you.
And it is very reliable. Primary data
And
is
it is
very
very reliable. Thank you, Lukman. Okay, over to you, Wada. Unmute yourself, please.
It's very reliable. It's one of the cardinal importance of primary data, sir.
Okay, it's very reliable. Thank you so much. Okay. Muraino Yaya.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the advantage of primary data is because it's raw. We are getting it direct from the source. So it's not going to be easy to manipulate.
Okay, it's not easy to manipulate. Who cannot tell us the advantage of secondary data? If you know advantage of secondary data, please, you can talk, Uyaya.
It's inexpensive or less expensive than primary data.
Which of them?
Secondary is less expensive than primary, sir.
Okay, thank you. Secondary is less expensive than primary. Okay, that's one. Which one again?
It can be easily gotten. For instance, some of them are already online. You can just go and click and
You can easily have access to them.
Yes, sir.
You don't need to pass through any protocol. It's in public domain. Let's take it. Where can we locate secondary data?
Where can we newspapers?
Some newspapers.
Online.
Magazine.
Magazine, thank you.
Newspaper.
Textbooks.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's move on. Thank you for that contribution. I can see some of us, we are really digging deep. Okay, let's move on. If you are still there, you are still wondering, what are they saying? Then please mute yourself. Respect yourself.
Please mute yourself.
Okay, we move on quickly to frequency distribution table where we have group data, ungroup data, relative frequency distribution. All these things are very important. Now, look at, you remember this example when we did something on the birthday. We can easily do that. We can rearrange these before you solve them. So on the frequency data, on the frequency distribution data, what are the things it is necessary? Things that are necessary is, first thing is, when you are given a kind of data like this, look at this data that you are given. It is not well arranged. The first thing is you order array, right? You order array. During the, when you are trying to order array, you have 1, we have 2, we have 5. How many 1 do we have? How many 5 do we have in some
Just
of those
one,
cases? Yes?
5.
So
Oh,
no,
4,
I'm just
4, 5.
explaining some things, not this particular one. So that is what they call frequency. Bamidele Odutola, can you please mute yourself? So another thing, we talk about class interval. Now, some of us will be asking, how are we sure whether they will not give us this table? This guy is just wasting our time. Congratulations. You might say I'm wasting your time. But I can bet with you that There are some of the questions that will really need you to do it, but they will not tell you the method to use. Assuming they just gave you the value like this on the class interval. I taught us how to do the class interval. One of the things is you have this particular data set, and we want to know the class limit. They can ask you what is class limit. They can ask you about class boundary. They can ask you what about class midpoint? What do we say about it? We discuss it in the class. Now, class limits, you already create a range from 1 to what is the highest value in this case? Let's look at this class interval. Look at this. What is the highest value here? The highest value, anybody?
29.
Highest is what?
29.
29.
31.
31.
31. 31.
31.
31 is here. Okay.
87.
It's 87.
87
I
is
think
there.
I'm seeing something like 87, sir.
87 is there.
No, it's because when we tick them, it looked like 87.
81.
Okay.
It just looked like that. Look at it. Look at the highest point.
Okay.
Are you getting it? It's 31. You
Yes,
are
sir.
right. So here you are able to select them using your class limit from 1 to 5. How many value do we have from 1 to 5? We have this. How many do we have? We have this 1 to 5. 6 to 10, we have this. 11 to 15, like that to the end. And I taught us in this class that class boundary is very simple. What you need to do is, I don't want you to pass through the rigorous way as those scientists used to do it. You are just to apply it. So all you need to do is very simple. From your class limit, deduct 0.5. From your class limit, let me explain things, yeah? The class limit is 1 to 5, right? This is what we call lower class limit. This is upper class limit. So if I want to do class boundary, lower class boundary will be, I will deduct 0.5 from here. It will now be 0.5 to, I will add 0.5 to the other side. 5 plus 0.5.
Francis, I don't know which one being on. No. It gets 2, Francis.
You have 1 minus 0.5 to 5 plus 0.5, meaning you have 0.5 from here to 5.5. You do the same operation to all of them in order to have this. You add from one place, you add it to the other side. So if you want to now get your class midpoint, they are here. It simply means add your class lower limit plus upper limit together, add them together and divide them by 2. You see the formula I just put here? In case you have class boundary, they will still give you the same thing. If you don't have, in a situation whereby they don't ask you to calculate class boundary, you will have this. Lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. It will give you all this. Please go and watch the video. They are there for you to consume them. Though buying data is better than re-register this course. If you can afford to re-register the course, why can't you use that money to buy data so that you won't come back next time. I hope I'm communicating. So that is how we calculate class midpoint. They can ask you the question, define class midpoint, or they can give you the different definition, or they can say which of the process is when you add upper limit plus lower limit and divide it by 2. What type of process is that? You know it's class midpoint they are talking about. Am I communicating now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on. The same thing happened here. I just explained class boundary, and yes, Yaya, you raise up your hand.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to find out the class mark and class midpoint, are they the same?
Class mark and class midpoint. What is class mark? Tell me.
The class mark is the mean of lower class boundary.
Can you see my definition here?
It's the same as class midpoint. That is
Can you
lower
see
class,
it now?
upper class boundary divided by 2.
Can you see?
I've seen it, sir.
Are you seeing the table?
Yes, I've
they
seen
are
it.
all there in your video.
Yes, sir.
They will see all these questions will come. Take your time and study them. Know it mathematically, know it theoretically, so that it will help you. Class mark or class midpoint. Look at what I did here. If you are the type that you've not watched this video, please take your time and watch them. Now let's go to I will also divert a bit. I have less than 30 minutes. I believe you agree with me.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Exactly.
No,
Oh,
sir.
are we enjoying the class?
Yes,
Yes,
you
sir.
are enjoying
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are enjoying it, sir. We
Your
still have
own.
more than 1 hour.
By who?
We will end by
You want
3.
to kill our guy?
No, not that.
Okay.
Actually, sincerely, I love to spend more time with you guys, but I have some engagements. I'm supposed to put this class tonight. It's supposed to be in the midnight. I wanted to put it around 12 p.m., 9:30 p.m. But I noticed some of us, because of the electricity issue, network issues,
Yes.
some people might not be able to join.
Join.
And I don't want it to be Monday, because you will go to work. Myself too.
Monday is holiday, sir.
Monday is holiday.
Not for everybody.
Democracy
Not
Day.
for
Democracy
Everybody.
Day.
Okay,
Public holiday, sir.
Yes,
No,
there's
not
a
for
If
everybody.
you have a holiday, it's for you. If you're a businessman,
Holiday
market
is
is
not
for
for
you.
me.
no, they've cancelled your June 12th.
It's for everybody.
Wait,
They've cancelled it now.
Are you sure the federal
Democracy Day.
do we have any announcement that said tomorrow is holiday?
Exactly. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Tomorrow is democracy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today is June
June
12th.
12th.
Yes.
Tomorrow is
Tomorrow
public holiday.
They now declare tomorrow to be democracy, to declare it.
Exactly.
Yes. I have the memo with me.
You have the oh, you work in that sort of. Oh, okay, you are that politician in our class. That's good.
Should I forward the memo?
Please do forward
Beg, let's continue. Leave your logo. Keep it to yourself.
Okay, so let's continue. If you look at the questions, don't be scared. Some of us, let me say this before I open the question. Some of us, we are too scared, especially when it comes to exam or when it comes to mathematics. But why? Tell me.
So it's very simple. Many of us had very, very horrible beginnings and foundations in mathematics. Our teachers were very, very tough or difficult. So that's the reason why many people are finding mathematics very scary.
Exactly my point.
My brother, you speak wisdom. How are you pure water?
You see, yes, Michael, okay, or Michael, okay. Yes.
My network. Oh.
Are you talking or you are raising up your hand? Okay. You see, mathematics is simple. All he wants from you, if you leave math for a day, he will leave you for a week. That is just the simple thing. I know majority of us have poor foundation. I agree. But you don't need to remain in a poor situation.
Yes, sir.
As I'm talking to you, I did not have A1 in mathematics. Are you getting it? I did not have A1 in mathematics. Yes, I studied mathematics in my first degree. I studied mathematics in my second degree, and I studied mathematics in my PhD. So not that I let me shock you. I've told them in this class, I have last credit in my mathematics, 6C. So if I can have 6C and I still have my PhD today, definitely some of you, I know they help you your center. You have A1. Congratulations. Some of you in your center, they give you B2, B1. Congratulations. But now you cannot defend it. That is where the problem lies. You need to see that and now work it out. That work that you run away from, that you say, okay, go to special center and they give you special results. No problem. You just postpone the work. Now this is the time for you to do the work.
Yes, sir.
So let's continue. We all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I can tell you, you can pass this course in a flying color.
Amen.
I'm not praying. I'm not praying you. I know your pastor has already prayed for you today. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, sir. You will pass it, sir.
Now we have this one. Look at this question.
How are they in learning? Even if they get it very serious.
Please mute yourself. Michael, okay. Are you raising up your hand or you lower it? Okay. Okay, let's continue. Let me share this. Can you see my screen now? Now, in this case now, we have class limits. Our class limit is here. We all know the way we range it. Our frequency is here. That is the number that occur within that interval. Our class mark is here. That is add 1 plus 12, 13, divided by 2. We give you class mark or class midpoint. Then I've taught us now, I just reminded us the way we used to check our class boundary. So in this case now, we know how do we calculate relative frequency. I taught us that they are here. The relative frequency is class frequency divided by the sum of the frequency. Is that okay? Class, that is the relative frequency, is class frequency. What's our class frequency? Our class frequency is 23 from here, divided by the sum. The sum is 60. So it will give you this. You will have this. Then if you multiply it by 100, you have it in a percentage. They ask you what is cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is starting from here. Let's say I want to calculate cumulative frequency. Let's say CF. The cumulative frequency of this particular data is, the first element is 23. 23 plus 23.
That is 46.
Is what? 46.
46.
46 plus 8.
54.
54 plus 6.
60.
That is 60, sir.
Now,
54 plus 6, that's 60.
60. Now, the secret of this thing is your cumulative frequency, the last value for cumulative frequency always be the same thing as the total frequency. Please take note of that. So let's move on.
The last frequency is also
60.
The last value of
The summation, I'm not saying the last frequency. The total sum. When you had addition of all the frequency.
Okay.
That is what this one says. Everything that I just explained now, they are all here. Go and check them. If they are not useful, they will not give you. Now, they can give you this question now. Look at this question 6. Look at the way they put it. And give you the simple data like this and ask you to solve them. So it is possible. Now, I gave an assignment. If you remember, go and check that assignment and see what we did in that assignment. Now, they can ask definition of histogram, polygon, frequency polygon, OGIF, bar chart, simple bar chart, components, multiple bar charts, pie charts, and so on. They can ask. But the way they will ask will not be define this. Remember, it's statistics. Look at the first question I put on the pool. That is the definition of central measure of central tendency. They just say so and so are the measure of what. Please go and know all the measures. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, sleep down, come on.
Please mute yourself. Okay, we move on to histogram. We all know what is the mode. Who can tell us mode?
mode is the highest frequency of foreign words.
The highest frequency.
The number
The
that
highest
appear mode.
frequency.
The number in the middle.
The number that do what? Appear
Appear
mode.
mode. Yes.
Okay, what is the mode of this table that you are seeing?
You can see it now.
11.
11. In what in range? Between what?
30 and 34, sir.
30 to 34.
Between 30
to 34.
to 34. Let's take note of those simple questions.
30 to 34 is the one that appear most.
I know some of us have forgotten because of this economic 1, accounting 2, business admin 3, business law 4. I know.
Yes, sir.
That is why I said we should meet. It is not convenient for me, I must confess. But I just have to have it.
We appreciate that, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for that.
We
Okay.
already purchased your form.
Amen, and you too. I'm still waiting for my package, Joe. I'm not part of delegate for you.
No
And yet
problem,
you did not,
sir.
Yeah, bring it, sir.
you did not send my package. Must I be in Abuja to be a delegate before you send the dollar? Politician.
Your form is with us. We already purchased it.
Imagine this man. Okay, let's continue, guys.
God bless you, sir.
So we have, like we are saying, the way we are solving it now, I think it makes sense.
Yes.
We can see the cumulative frequency. We can see the one of O give. I gave this assignment during that period. Please go and solve them and see how you can identify them. Then look at this. I explained this in our class in one of the videos. They can ask you what is the difference between simple bar charts and component bar charts. They can ask you. You can see the simple bar chart, the way it is. They just say January is here. What is January? 5.2. February is here. March is here.
Okay.
They are all here.
Okay.
So now we can now look at components. Under the component, there are different things. Some of us are in business world. Look at it. You have A, B, C. You have hotel, department A, B, C. In 1999, what is the sales or what is the net profit of that company? For A, they have 3.2. For B, they have 3.4. For C, they have 2.8.
2.8.
Look at the way they do it now. They sum each of them. The highest value here is 10.8. Look at it. They now begin to arrange them. 1999. Remember, the highest is this. 1999 is what?
9.4.
3.2. You continue, you place the B on top of it.
Okay.
Is that okay now?
Okay.
You place your B on top of it. And you place your C on top of it. That is 1999, yes, Dico. Dico, you raise up your hand. Look at it. 1999. 3.2 is the A. 3.2 plus 3.6 plus this plus B is what?
66.
6.6. 6.6. So now you trace from here to 6.6. Because it's the entire year, they must be in a particular bar. They must be on a particular bar. Then the last one, the last value there is what? 2 plus 2.8.
9.4.
9.4. Extend it. Extend it to 9.4. That is why you see our C. We place the C there. Any question? Sonia, Dico, are you raising up your hand?
Yes.
Unmute yourself and talk, please.
Yeah, correct. And this one from this.
Yes, Chika.
Yes, sir. Please, where do you get this 9.4?
Now, let's go to the table. That is why I say you guys should listen. They can ask questions on that. Look at it. 1999, at point A, what do we have?
3.2.
At point B, what do we have?
3.4.
Remember, it's still 1999.
Yes.
Only that we have different departments. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And meaning that the different departments, you cannot say our own department is 3.2 million we make. Oh, what happened to the other departments? Had everything together as a business analyst. 3.2 plus 3.4 plus 2.8. What do you have?
9.4.
So you do the
Okay,
same
sir.
thing to 2000.
Okay, sir.
You do the same thing to year 2001.
Okay.
You can
Okay,
extend.
sir. I will-
You can extend this one to be able to cater for 2001. So it depends. I hope I'm communicating now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well understood.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Now,
Hello.
Fatima, Umar. Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
But me, I'm looking at the example inside our textbook. The way it was arranged in the table was very wrong. In that
But
page
that is
54.
different between lecturer and textbook. Am I
Oh,
right?
yes, I understand, sir.
Yes, we did this in
Yes,
the
sir. Yes,
class
sir.
now. We've done it.
Are you there now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So take note of that.
Sir, why is
You
the 2.8? Why is the 2.8 now appearing in the bar chart, sir?
The 2.8, check the year they are talking about. Year 2000.
Yes.
That is why you see 2.8 again.
Okay,
Are you getting
okay,
it?
okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Now trace the 2.8 to this one. Remember, you must not join them together. Are you getting the idea now?
Yes, sir.
Aha. So that is why we put it there. Remember, you start from the bottom, not from up, down. A, B, C.
Bottom, from bottom to top.
I know you say
Politician,
something.
you don't start.
Not top to bottom.
Okay, or you are on your own. Let's continue.
Yeah, turn
Okay,
it to another thing.
multiple bar charts using the same data. Multiple bar charts. 1999, how much do we make in 2099 for A?
9 points.
For A.
So 3.2.
9.4.
For A.
3.2.
3.2.
Assuming this is A, what is B?
3.4.
3.4.
What is C?
2.8.
Have you seen it now? B and C.
Yes.
Does it represent the value? The first one is 3.2. The second one is 3.4. The third one is 2.8. Have you seen the difference now?
Yes, sir.
So let's take note of that. Then we talk about bar charts, pie charts. We all know the meaning of pie.
Yes.
When last did you bought a pizza for your wife?
Sir.
For your boyfriend at this point?
Sir.
I will call your name. You don't need to say sir. Don't worry. I will still call you.
Okay.
Dico, Sonia, are you going for pizza or which one?
French.
Meat pie.
What are you going to buy now? Dico, yes, you're on the platform. You can see she's looking for where to buy pizza. Okay. I believe we all know the pizza. And
Yes, so
yes, from there, we can now make use of it. Now, let's look at this. We have to be careful at this point.
Yes.
Now, the value of item divided by total value of all items multiplied by 360 degrees. Number one, identify the item we are talking about. You are a business person. They can give you this. Feeding, rent, education, savings, others.
And others. The expenses.
Are you getting the point?
Yes.
So now, if you look at this, look at what's the total value. If you had everything together, what's the total value here?
It's 360.
It's 27,500.
We know we are talking about the value of the stuff we are dealing with now.
Okay, sorry.
27,500.
27,500. Good.
Yes.
That is the value. Then what is the formula says? The formula says from here.
Value of item over total value of all items times 360.
Exactly. That is value divided by total value multiplied by 360. So what is the first value?
The first value is 9,625.
Divide it by it. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's quickly divide it.
When you divide, you have times 360, you have 126.
No, divide this one first. Tell me the answer.
Which one, sir?
965
divided by
9625 divided by 27,500 is what?
0.35.
Is 0.35
35
times 360.
126.
126.
That is where we have this 126. Then you go to your table, you go to your pie chart or your pizza, put it there. You can see the space.
Is it on the feeding?
Yes.
Yes.
On the feeding.
Okay. On the feeding.
Yes.
Okay, 1,000.
They can give you a table and ask you to calculate it and pick the answer. They might not ask you to draw the chart. But if you are not smart enough and you are not sure of all this formula, value of item divided by total value of all items multiplied by 360.
Okay.
If you don't multiply it by 360, you are on your own. The answer will also be there, and you will think you got it right. Are you getting it now?
Yes.
Okay, guys. I will need to stop here.
It's not your time.
He said he has an engagement now. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go and watch
Happy
the
birthday, sir.
Don't be Oliver Twist.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Your
very
mic
much.
is muted. Sir, your mic is muted.
I know you are
Thank you,
enjoying the
sir.
class, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, question here.
Sir, please, I remember the last class I asked you the question and you said you were going to do a video on that, but you didn't do it, maybe due to engagement. So I was
on the normal
Sir,
and
please just upload the
hypergeometric,
video
right?
for us.
Yes, sir. How
Yes,
many parameters?
I promised to do that, but unfortunately, when I check the content, there is no table in your textbook. They're supposed to put statistical table there.
Yes, there is an error there.
So if I don't have statistical table, you may not be able to get what we'll be saying.
Okay, sir, but sir, please, can we just know how many parameters? Because it's not even in the course material, but I saw it in a question, please.
How many parameters in what case?
In hypergeometry.
It's there in your textbook. Those ones are there in your textbooks. They are very simple. But what I would advise every one of you to do Okay, we have table in your textbook, but I'm not sure whether they will give you table in your exam. But okay, let's do it this way. I don't want to promise you. I will call Abuja today to confirm whether they normally release table for the statistics. If they say they release table, then we must find a time between tonight, tomorrow, and
Yes.
meet again.
Okay,
So
sir.
that I can explain the way you use the table.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir. Please,
sir.
sir,
Yes,
your
sir.
YouTube page, sir.
Thank you so much,
My
sir.
Thank you
YouTube
very much,
page.
sir.
Yes, sir. Please, I need it, sir.
Okay. Some of you know it.
I don't know it, sir.
It's because you are run away.
Please paste it on the group, sir.
God will help
If
you
you're on the
also.
Post the
Telegram
link
group,
on the
if you're on
group.
the
The
Telegram
link on the
group
group.
or WhatsApp group, you will see
On
this.
the WhatsApp group, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Telegram and WhatsApp, they are all there. Join one of
They
the
are all
groups.
there.
I'm not in WhatsApp group, sir.
It's not
I'm not.
necessary. Don't
I'm
worry.
not you. I'm not you. Please.
Don't
Okay,
worry, you join
you
us
will see it
later.
on the Telegram. I just shared the link on Telegram.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello, ma.
All right, sir.
Here to help us to share this one,
Yes.
this recorded video of today.
You will get it. Don't worry. I will
Thank you,
send it to you. No, what I'm thinking is, okay, is it possible for us to meet by 9? Can we meet by 10 o'clock today?
10
Yes,
p.m.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
can, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
possible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
Yes, sir.
100% possible.
inshallah.
Very possible for me. Very, very possible, sir.
Over
Yes, sir.
possible.
It's
Very
possible.
In
Hope
short,
so.
no
Yes,
sleeping
sir.
tonight.
You said?
Exam day
If
around.
you
No
don't want to
sleeping
sleep, it does not
tonight.
mean that sir doesn't want to sleep, oh, Oga.
I want them.
So
Okay, don't
if
worry.
it is
After your exam,
overnight,
you
you are
sleep here.
available.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Even
Even cross
all
over
night,
night.
we are available.
Today,
Okay,
no
night
visiting
vigil,
of
we are
boyfriend and
available.
girlfriend.
What about your
No night
girlfriend?
clubbing.
They will go on holiday for today.
Okay, let's do it this way. I have like 8 or 9, 6 hours class. I need to.
Okay.
Please see you guys by 10. Let's make
Okay,
it
sir.
10 p.m. tonight.
Thank you very much,
All
sir.
right,
We will
sir. Thank you
continue
very much.
the talk.
Bye.
I just shared the
Bye-bye.
link for the
See you
WhatsApp group.
guys.
I just shared the link for the WhatsApp
Thank
group.
you,
So
sir.
I just
Yes,
shared the
Bye,
link
sir.
for the
sir.
WhatsApp group.
All
So
right,
you
sir.
make sure you also bring